Welcome everyone. I didn't do a video yesterday. I'm really sorry about that. I forgot. So today I'm going to do yesterday's video, which is number 17. So for today's video, I'm going to do the filterValueByConditions function from my GitHub repository. So let's go ahead and click on it. It will take us to this page where we can see the code input and output. So let's go ahead and copy the code. Sweet. So what this function is doing is that it's filtering the different values that come here in the input by the conditions given here. So for example, we have a field called active, as we can see here, and we want to say that this active has to be true and that this name field has to be ABC, for example. So as you can see, we have to be expecting a payload that looks like this. This was for a challenge, so it was a specific requirement. So the requirement was to receive this array with objects, and then you could add different filters here, but the filters came in a string. I know that we can just apply filters directly and that would make our life so much easier, but for this requirement, the filters were coming in a string and the string was in this kind of way. So first we received the field, then colon, and then the value that we're expecting to come with the field. So in this case, we are filtering everything that is active true. So we have these two and then name ABC. So we end up with just this one. But if we take out the name ABC thing, we will have now the two of these that are active true. Or for example, if we want to have active false, we can just change that and it will be filtered as well. So very quickly, how this function works is we receive the value as the first argument, which is the array. Then we receive the conditions on another array of strings. The first thing that I check for is that if the conditions and the first array that comes in the conditions is empty, we will just return the value. But if it's not empty, in this case it's not empty, we have active false, then the first thing that we're going to do is open a do for a new context in order to use a local variable. My first local variable is first condition array. So I do conditions and then I take the first thing that comes in the conditions. I do a split by, which will essentially separate active false in this case. So we will have active in one place and false in another place. I can explain this split by function in the next video, just so you know what this is doing. And now that we have the first condition array, we will now actually filter. So we take the value, we're sending this to the next function. So instead of just sending the value here, we're sending the value filtered. So we say value and then filter, and then we are filtering by, and as you can see, we are taking this variable, which now is an array, and then we're saying the first thing that I'm receiving has to be, this is like equal, but coerced kind of way. I will explain this operator in the next video as well. And now I'm saying, so the first one and the second one, they have to be equal-ish. And finally, I'm sending the conditions back, but now I'm sending whatever is left. So for example, in this case that we had two different filters, on the first iteration, I'm just filtering active true. And on the second iteration, I'm filtering name ABC. Let me see if I can add some loggers to this. Okay, so I added a log here. So I'm saying the value. I'm just taking the value as it came at first, not with the filter. So on the first iteration, I'm just sending the payload, so my value is the whole payload, as you can see here. It contains the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9 objects, which are the 3 objects that I have. Then when I send to the second iteration, so after I do the filter, the first filter was active true. So now, as you can see here, I no longer have ID 789. I just have active true. So the 2 objects with active true. And for the third iteration, after the filter, because I'm sending, you cannot see here, there. Because I'm sending name ABC as well as the second filter, on my third iteration, this is no longer being logged, but this is the output that you can see. Now I just have the 1, 2, 3 because the 4, 5, 6, the name is DEF, so it doesn't match. If I were to change this to ABC, then both of them would match. And if I wanted to add a third filter here, whoops, to say ID 1, 2, 3, now I would only have the 1, 2, 3 again, but see, now I have an additional log here because I have 3 different filters. So I had 3 different iterations. On the first one, I had 3 of them. I received 3 of them, then I filtered and sent to the second iteration, which received 2, and then did the filter for name ABC, and both of them matched. So I sent both of them to the third iteration, and then this filtered ID 1, 2, 3. And this is why I just have 1, 2, 3 here at the end. All right, remember that you can leave me a comment below to let me know what you want me to do next. We still have 2 weeks left of Codetober. Follow me on my socials at Martinez and subscribe on this button here. Bye!